don't put your value in people because you just don't want to be let down. But he's someone that it doesn't matter, to be quite honest, and people aren't going to agree with me when I say this. It doesn't even matter what really happened. What matters is that he doesn't do anything that would damage people's faith, because we don't have faith in things anymore. And he is someone that I know he won't.
Sue, thank you.
He won't.
Sue, you're expressing sentiments I'm certain a lot of people watching us right now share with you, and we thank you for giving those to us.
We're continuing to watch as this white Ford
now, did he get
takes
onto
the freeways. He was on the North 405.
That's where he is now, heading north along 405 down there in Orange County, heading back in the direction of Los Angeles.
And we were told that he was heading to his mother's house. That was what he had said to the CHP. He is in LA County now, and we're not sure of what his possible end destination might be. But he had said to CHP that he was A, not going to give up, and B, that he was going to visit his mother, and that's why all of these police cars are following him, because he's there in the car with a gun pointed to his head. That was their belief earlier.
Well, this is a rather serpentine, circuitous route he has taken now. Apparently, at least I get the feeling that they're not heading in toward any particular destination. They're just driving at this point. Now, O.J. Simpson, when he had that conversation with the police a little while ago on the cell phone, we're told his voice was very slurred, which would be consistent with the pressure he's been under and also with the medication he has been given. Perhaps he is taking more than the normal dose, and that would not be surprising whatsoever. So that they might be at this point just driving.
It does feel like that, because it's been some turns that bring you back around in a northern...
O.J. Simpson, along with a good friend of his, former teammate Al Collins. What is happening now? They use cell phone transmissions to locate O.J. Simpson at 5:51. That's when they first picked him up near El Toro. That, of course, has been quite a while ago, more than an hour and a half ago. They have slowly trailed him that entire time. The vehicle's never going over about 40 miles an hour. The police are blocking off the highways as they go to make sure no other cars get on the freeway. As this thing unfolds, police are trying to figure out where O.J. and Al Collins may be headed. They don't know. They don't know if they're heading back to Brentwood, back to the area where O.J.'s mansion is located. Possibly back. O.J. said he possibly wanted to see his mother.
That's right. Looks like he's in the left lane now. Yeah. Making a left turn. The intersection's free, and he's clear, and now making his left turn westbound on Sunset.
All right. He must have gone right by you, Eric.
Well, he has, and we're staying ahead of it. We're going to his mansion, believing that he's going there, but it was an amazing situation on that overpass there. There were people running around on top of there. I don't know how he's going to be able to drive through all those people. All along Sunset Boulevard, there are people stopped as well ahead of the chase. We can only assume he's going to his home on Rockingham in Brentwood.
Okay, Eric, that's exactly what had happened. He did take that Sunset Boulevard off-ramp, as we had speculated, and now he is proceeding west on Sunset.
The house would be roughly 2 miles from where the vehicle is right now.
Peter,
thank you, Al.
Peter, the love that so many people have, the fact that people are cheering him on. I mean, this, you know, what we can only imagine what this will say in the future in terms of trials, of juries. I mean, the feeling that no matter what has been said, there is still such love for this man.
Bigger perspective here.
I'm not sure it's Sunset, or if it is. It's very difficult to tell from this perspective.
All right, well, let's just all hang on for a second until we're absolutely sure we think we know where we're going. We don't leave people halfway around Los Angeles studio. I'll leave you and Al for a second to try to figure it out. What our viewers can most obviously see is that they are no longer being closely followed by an enormous phalanx of cops, though something is alerting people to turn over to the side.
That's Sunset Boulevard. They're passing the church on Salt Air. Yeah. They are heading right into Brentwood now. They are in Brentwood. They are 2 blocks away from Nicole Simpson's condominium. This is my old neighborhood, so I know it well. Literally coming up on the block when she would turn left to her house.
Peter?
Go ahead, Al.
Peter, he's a little further than that from where Nicole is. Nicole's about 1.5 miles south. He appears to be headed in the direction of his home, which is north of Sunset Boulevard by about 3 blocks. He is going through the Brentwood district right now. I can't give you the precise location, but I would estimate he is about a mile from his home at this moment.
And children, and then I will surrender. So that is also a point for speculation, too.
It's hard to say what in the world is on his mind at this point.
That's right.
But he is getting very close to Rockingham. We're getting very close. He's going to be making that turn very soon. There he goes. Okay, he has made a turn.
Yeah, he's off Sunset now.
He did not make a turn on Rockingham. He turned on a street called, hang on, Bristol Circle, I think.
Yeah,
Simpson, who was, as we said earlier today, in seclusion, in the company of his lawyer, at least 2 doctors, and of his friend Al Culling, is now Judy, take it away.
Yes, he's turning into another street, and there is a crowd of people waiting there as though they were expecting him. I believe he's in his neighborhood now with all the cars and all the media.
Peter, he's at his home. There's the satellite truck.
My goodness gracious.
He's come home after all of that. After all of that.
I'm going to have to ask our control room now whether or not we have facilities on the ground or are we still dependent on them in the air.
You can't see into this home from the ground, so this is the best view you could have. Now,
Somebody's gone up. Been telling to get away. Do not know who that person is.
That's his son. That is his son, and the police have pulled him back.
Right. Thank you.
That's his eldest son, Jason, if we have correctly identified him.
If it was Al Colleagues or O.J., but it was clear that he wanted him nowhere near the car.
How many times in so many different parts of the world have we seen gunmen in vehicles surrounded by the police trying to resolve what in the final analysis is an unresolvable situation for the person in the car.
Sometimes waiting is the hardest thing, but the most productive thing.
The Los Angeles Police Department has this week, according to all press accounts, Judy, been extremely cautious in dealing with this case, in part because O.J. Simpson is such a national figure, in part because the department has not done as well as it had hoped to in other cases.
It's interesting. I talked to a deputy city attorney who tried the first case in 1989, and he said that based on his celebrity, the police really didn't have to rush their investigation. And in his words, he said, after all, where could he go? How could he ever get away? And I'm sure he's thinking twice about those words today. He got away at least for a day.
As happened is O.J. Simpson earlier today was charged with murder in connection with the death
around the house, and I suspect that there are quite a number of officers surrounded the house at this time.
There were evidently officers inside the house also.
Yes, that's what appeared as we came up. Someone approached the vehicle initially and was pulled away from the vehicle by what it looked like some sort of officers. I could not tell their uniforms.
You know, Craig, to put it in one kind of perspective, the belief earlier was, when the letter was read at his attorney's office, at Mr. Shapiro's office, the view was that he was a fugitive from justice. Well, he is not a fugitive in one respect anymore. We know where he is, and
with cop cars just pushing into the street behind him.
Now joining us is O.J. Simpson is back at his home, and this is not a friend's home or any secondary of his mansion. What's going on?
The dog is on the ground, so it must belong to somebody there.
It was a dog barking at the condominium of his former wife, just about 2 miles from this particular.
The probability of leaving hostage negotiation is greater now than ever. I think there's a very good chance that he will surrender. I have seen even crazed mass murderers coaxed out of buildings based on...
Let's go back to the vehicle.
Okay, someone just got out of the vehicle, approaching the front door, dressed in black, and entered. Looks like they entered the front of the house there. Possibly O.J. Simpson at this point in time. From this vantage point, it was difficult to see.
To have a gun.
Again, it's a little after 11 o'clock in the east, a little after 8 o'clock in California. So particularly those of you in the east who've just joined us, we've come to the end of a 5-hour manhunt for O.J. Simpson by the Los Angeles police authorities. He described in an emotionally and physical state of high distress and anxiety, who was supposed to have given himself up to the authorities many hours ago, but who completely disappeared, and disappeared, as it turns out, with his friend Al Cowling, a friend from his days at the University of Southern California football days, and then at the Buffalo Bills. Al Cowling was one of the men keeping an eye on O.J. Simpson as his lawyers negotiated for his surrender with the Los Angeles police, and then in what was described to us as a 15-minute window,